Hi, everybody, and welcome to Healthwatch. I'm your host, Carolyn Wilson from Ledgelight Health District. The goal of this program is to bring you information on a wide range of health topics and introduce you to the great people doing important work across the community. Today, I'm joined by two UConn interns, Keely and Tiffany, and we are going to be talking about their internship experience here at Ledgelight Health District. Keely and Tiffany, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have so much to talk about. I have had the pleasure of working with both of you this year at Ledgelight, and it's been great. And there's some things that I think our viewers may want to know about your experience and some of the things that you've enjoyed and some of the things that you're going to be taking with you along the way. So Keely, let's start with you. Tell us how you heard about the internship and what got you interested.
Yeah, so I'm an MPH student at UConn Health. We are obliged to do a practicum, which is a fancy word for an internship, as part of our degree. So this was one of the opportunities offered to me. I was given a choice of about 3 health districts through the Adopt a Health District program, and I chose Ledgelight because it seemed like they already had somewhat of a developed program in place for like addressing substance misuse and overdoses. So I thought it'd be a good place to learn.
Excellent. And Tiffany, tell us about how you heard about us and what brought you to the program.
Yeah, I actually heard about it from Dr. Rickles at the UConn School of Pharmacy, and I was looking to do some independent study during my time this past year. So he knew that I had an interest in public health, and I wanted to like pursue a public health field within pharmacy. So he had actually brought up this opportunity with me, and so that's how I got here.
All right, that's great. Now, Tiffany, what aspects of LLHD, Ledgelight Health District, interest you? What made you want to come to work with us?
Yeah, so I really do enjoy the fact that it is public health, and this was a great gateway to like public health for a pharmacy standpoint of view, because in general, like the School of Pharmacy doesn't really advertise public health that much. It's more like residency and industry and retail. So the public health from Ledgelight Health District point of view was really like a good opportunity for me to step in. Not only that it was also the hands-on approach and how everyone was very welcoming to us interns, and allowing us to bring in information that we learned into the classroom setting and try to apply it in the actual work field. So some of the stuff that we kind of did was like the vaping cessation, and that was something that it was really great for us to learn about and like bring in from our classroom setting of what we learned.
Awesome. Keely, what tipped the scales in favor of Ledgelight? What made you decide us?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I mentioned, you guys have like developed programs addressing substances. Some of the other like health districts I was offered, like Test-Pro-Got, like they didn't seem to have anything on their website at least. And so I was like, I don't want to build up something from scratch. I want to learn from cool people. But also like among the 3, Test-Pro-Got and Ledgelight were about the same distance from my house. So I narrowed it down from there.
There we go. Geography, it matters.
Yeah.
All right. Keely, tell us about your course of study and what prepared you for this?
Yeah, so I majored in an individualized major in undergrad called Health Systems and Disparities. I had come in as biology, and I was like, as a doctor, I think maybe knowledge of health systems is a bit more important than petri dishes for what I want to go into, because I'm a pre-med student. As an MPH student, we learn a lot about things that have been useful to me at Ledgelight, like biostatistics, data analysis, and like how to do health education from like a behavioral standpoint. So that's been really useful to me, those skills.
Great. And Tiffany, same question for you. Tell us about your course of study and how public health fits into that.
Yeah, so I originally had taken public health as a first year pharmacy student. And that was like a great introduction into like learning about what public health was all about. I also had previously taken a psychiatric module. So a lot of that had to do with like substance use disorders and mental health. So it was like a great way to like introduce me into like applying this for this internship. And I also was very much involved in many of like the pharmacy organizations at the UConn School of Pharmacy. And a lot of what I had done with them was working with like underserved populations, minorities. So it was like a great way to like try to apply everything that I kind of learned from whether a classroom setting or like extracurriculars to apply it to this internship.
That's great. And, I really think this experience, this experiment, if you will, this pilot program of this internship has been great, linking public health and pharmacy into local health. I think it's been really great because you both have so many gifts and talents to share, and we've certainly benefited from that. And it's just been a great experience. Keely, name some of the highlights of this experience for you. What are some of your favorite highlights?
Well, obviously working with people at Ledgelight has been lovely. Lots of great people to learn from, including you, Carolyn. You've been great. Also learning about harm reduction in the context of substance misuse has been really interesting. I really loved learning from the people at Alliance for Living. That was really cool. Getting to hear from Scout about their syringe services program. That's just the sort of thing you like read about online and never get to really experience it. So it was cool to like tour their facilities. And also getting to go to some events like the EMS event about educating EMS professionals about taking care of people with substance misuse problems and post-overdose was really, really interesting. I love hearing from people in recovery about their experiences. It's always very informative.
Good. And Tiffany, you, what have been some of the highlights for you in this experience?
Yeah, I would also have to agree with Keely with like the people at Ledgelight. It was really great networking and like getting to know everyone. It was definitely a very welcoming environment. In terms of like the experience itself, I really enjoyed the syringe services with Scout. That was from Alliance from Living. I already knew some of the stuff, but it was great to like reinforce the information and like see things from their point of view with people that they've worked with. So a lot of it was like definitely like the lived experience that they were going through during this time. And then I also enjoyed like very much like the vaping cessation or just like all the educational opportunities because I'm very much a hands-on person and like talking to people. So that kind of like really allowed me to work on like just learning how to speak to the audience, learning to like dumb down on some of the like medical jargon. So that way, if they can understand it, then that means we did a great job like explaining it to them and like they were able to get away with like a great learning experience. So I really much enjoyed that part as well.
That's great. And like I said, we've had so many fun experiences together on this internship journey. And as I said before, it's been awesome for you to share your talents with us. And it's just been a great experience. We have so much more to talk about. But right now, we're going to take a quick break. And we hope our audience will join us right back here on Healthwatch.
COVID has been a really long fight.
As a father, I want to give the best tools to protect my kids.
So what can we do to get back to that sense of normalcy?
Many parents are asking if it is worth it to get their kids vaccinated against COVID.
And the answer is yes. It's an added layer of protection.
It's safe and effective for children.
It's definitely safer than getting the virus.
So if you have questions or concerns about the vaccine,
we're here to help.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
Welcome back to Healthwatch. I am here with Keely and Tiffany, our Adopt a Health District interns. They've been with us since October, and we are finishing up our program And I thought it would be great to have them on to talk and share all of their experiences. Before the break, we were getting to know each other, and they were sharing their experiences. And of course, I have more questions. So let's launch right back into it. Let's start with Tiffany. Tiffany, did anything surprise you during this experience?
Yeah, so I wasn't expecting it to be very like hands-on in the first place, being like it is a pilot program. So and like I understand that like there was definitely a lot to work with for like in terms of like the foundation. So it did require us to like think about all like think out of the box in that case. In terms of being more independent, because usually, like, especially if it's a classroom setting, they tend to hold your hand, or like if you're working with an organization, you're working with like a bunch of people within your small group, thinking of ideas. So coming into this, I was very much surprised that a lot of this was like, you kind of had to think about like, what do you want to get out of this and try to be independent in that manner. But luckily, like it worked out well in that case, because I'm so used to working independent and working together as a team, especially like the teamwork aspect. I really do enjoy that with working together with Keely and Carolyn. So it was really great for us to be able to execute many of the events that we held.
Yes, I'll say that's for sure. Keely, any surprises on your end?
Yeah, so I really liked hearing from people in recovery, and I was really surprised by how open everyone was at Ledgelight, Alliance for Living, and other groups about like people's honest experiences with substance misuse, with addiction. There were perspectives I had never heard about before personally. And I think the fact that these were established safe spaces was what allowed this to happen. Like I was like, this is stuff I've never heard people just talk about openly before, like syringe services programs and how those could expand. It was really cool.
Great. And Tiffany, what is next for you on your educational and professional journey?
Yeah, so I'm interested, I'm definitely interested in public health. Like this definitely solidified it. I'm gonna definitely continue trying to look for more opportunities within public health. Hopefully during this summer experience with Ledgelight, I'll be able to learn more about like academic detailing. I'm also going to be doing a few projects on the side in regards to public health, or like kind of helping pharmacists play a bigger role in the pharmacy field with not just only vaccinations like that we saw in the COVID pandemic, but also like injectables that I'm currently working on with like a few professors trying to get that out for not only like antipsychotic medications, but also like Sublocade. So that's one of the medications for substance use disorders. So we're trying to currently work on that on top of like, I'm also interested in possibly pursuing a job within the U.S. Public Health Commission Corps as like a future endeavor, or like either that or the Air Force, anything within like the public health field or government for pharmacy. That's something I kind of definitely see myself leaning towards as a future goal.
Yeah, I'd say you have a very bright future, and that all sounds great. And I can't wait to watch you as you go on to new things. And Keely, what's next for you?
Yeah, so I'll be graduating from my Master of Public Health program in May. So coming up, already submitted my thesis. But after that, so I'll be working on studying for the MCAT this summer. Pray for me. And then I will be jet setting to Amsterdam in August. I was awarded a Fulbright grant to study bioethics or medical ethics over in the Netherlands for 2 years. The grant's 1 year, but it rolls into a fellowship. And then I intend to come back and attend medical school, ideally at the UConn School of Medicine. I'm currently on that campus anyway for my public health courses, and I love it.
That's so exciting. I can't wait to hear more, and you'll have to send us a postcard from Amsterdam.
Some tulips.
Yes, tulips. That's great. Although we're growing them now in Preston here too. So Tiffany, what did you learn in this process and what are you going to take with you?
Honestly, it's really hard to choose because like we kind of learned a lot from it. I mean, one of the things is I really got to see and learn from like how Keely does her statistics with all the data gathering. And this is something that I can see us like seeing me possibly doing something in the future. It's definitely like a learning process. I'm not most likely I'm not going to be as detailed as Keely, but at least with her spreadsheets, it's definitely allowed me to learn how to be more organized than I was before. Because like before, I just had a Google Calendar that kind of controlled my life, told me what to do. But now with like her spreadsheets, I'm kind of incorporating some of that into my daily life at this point in time.
You and me both, Tiffany. Keely and her spreadsheets. It's a true wonder and very helpful. And Keely, other than your spreadsheets, we'll be taking that with us. Um, what do you think you'll be taking with you from this experience into the future?
Yeah, I'll have to clean up those spreadsheets before I send them to you because there's some stray formulas in there that might break if you try to mess with them. But aside from that, yeah, biostatistics was something I learned in my MPH program, and so it's something I brought with us. Reporting and quality improvement were necessary for our grant, so that was something I tried to work on. I think Tiffany and I really like complemented each other because like she's really good at like event organizing and communicating with people. I don't love talking on the phone, so that's something she's good at. She'll just like call people. I'm like, how? But like I'll take care of the data, so we work well together. But I liked learning about like event organizing from Tiffany. I liked getting the opportunity to interact with the community and to do a little practice with my public speaking. That was something that I really wanted to work on. And also getting to experience public health practice as opposed to just like public health theory and research, which was all that had been covered in my program so far was really good.
Awesome. And like, I've heard some of the best professional advice I've ever heard is maximize your strengths. We're not all great at the same things, but when you're good at something and you've got skills and talents, share them with the world and go for it. Don't obsess about the things that you're maybe not so great at, but double down on what you're good at and what you're passionate about, and that'll take you really far in life. So I love hearing what you guys have to say about that. So Keely, what would your advice be, having gone through this experience, to younger people who are trying to figure out maybe their academic path or their professional path?
Yeah, so I always advise people to keep an open mind. That's something that's been really crucial for me learning about these somewhat sensitive topics like substance misuse. And it's allowed me to learn so much from people. Being aware of like a terminology is really important to trying to like, cultivate the safe space so you can have like good conversations with people. But also like pursuing what interests you. I think people can become a little overwhelmed when they hear like pursue your passions because like maybe they didn't develop any passions yet, but pursuing what makes you curious and interested in questions you want to answer can lead you to your passions. Like I started working at Middlesex Hospital in the middle of 2020, which is obviously the best time to start working at hospitals in the midst of a pandemic, right? And I worked in telemetry, like heart monitoring for over a year. And I had been floated, like basically loaned over to the comfort care, like hospice and palliative floor for one night. And I witnessed like my first person passing and I was like, I want to do this. I hope that doesn't sound too weird. But I was like, I love end of life care. And so I actually transferred to that floor and I've worked there since. And I want to do that as a doctor someday. So pursuing what interests you is really good.
Yeah, I really like what you said there, Keely. Not everybody knows exactly what their passions are, and to be open to different experiences for you to figure that out, I think is great. Now, Tiffany, what would your advice be to younger people who are trying to figure out either education or a career?
Yeah, I would definitely say, like Keely said, to make sure you keep an open mind. Reason being that prior to this, I was actually interested in pursuing like pediatrics, and then out of nowhere, I was like, nope, I don't think I can do this anymore. Like, I think I might actually like public health. So like even if you feel like you do know what path you're interested in, it's always good to keep an open mind for other opportunities because you never know like what actually might be on the side. Like, and the other thing is that by keeping an open mind, you're going to be open to a lot more opportunities and exposed you to other parts of like whatever you're interested in. So whether it's like pharmacy in different fields, if you feel like you don't like this particular side, for me, I don't see myself in retail pharmacy. However, at least I gain the skills from retail pharmacy to reapply myself. So it's really important to learn how to, like, even if you have to do things that you might not be interested in, there's still skills that you can learn from whatever you're doing and try to reapply it. It's just all in the manner of how you want to repackage that skill in that manner and try to reapply yourself.
I love that. I love it's a reality that, you know, sometimes we have to do things we may not necessarily want to do, but there can be value in it and we can learn things from it. So I think that's great. Awesome advice. I have to tell you both, as your site supervisor, it's been great to have both of you as part of this journey for me. It's been great working with you. I've been very impressed with all of your contributions. I think you guys work really well together. And you have a lot of gifts that you were able to share with us. And I truly value it. I truly value it. I think it was a great springboard for other internship programs to observe. And it's just been a great pleasure. So I thank you both for spending time with me today here on Healthwatch. I can't thank you enough. I'm looking forward to celebrating the end of our internship experience. And that's all the time we have today for Healthwatch. I thank all of our viewers for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this interview, and we'll see you again next time right here on Healthwatch.